Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Prime of Nexus. If you are a new subscriber or if you are coming across this video for the first time, please try to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like my video, share my video to friends and others. And if you are a returning subscriber, I say thank you for being part of the family. So in this video, I want to do an illustration. I have one illustration here called illustration 6A, petty cash book. I just want to illustrate to us. I want to show us how we can enter this transaction here. Our requirement is to prepare the petty cash book of Royal Palms Limited on a weekly basis using the columns provided. So then state how the balance on each of the expense column would be treated in the ledger account on blah blah blah. But I just want to go ahead with the posting. So Boma is the impress holder of Royal Palms Limited with an impress float of 20,000 weekly. She receives a reimbursement from Maria, the main cashier. The petty cash book has columns for postage and telephone, traveling expenses, office expenses, and electricity. So date and description. So for February 2017, there is 2, there is February 1, February 2, February 4, 6, like that, 12. So almost close to a week or 2 weeks. Okay. So February 1 received petty cash float from the main cashier. Bought postage stamp for office use. Remember, the float is 20,000. So how do we enter this transaction? So there are two things here. It's possible that the cash was taken from sales, but this account is a new account. There is nothing on this account, so I'm just going straight. If you go to reports, there is nothing you can see regarding to anything from company and financial. Let's try and see. I think profit and loss is something else. Let me go to balance sheet. So go to balance sheet standard. So you can see we don't have anything. I can just put all. I just want us to be sure so that you see that we are starting afresh from the beginning, so there's nothing at all. Okay, so now let's go to the first transaction. So here, receive petty cash float from the main cashier, and the float is on 1st of February 2017, and it is 20,000. So how do you do this receipt? They don't have any money here. So this is a fresh transaction. So we can either introduce it as a capital, that the money is coming in through a capital. But had it been we have a transaction recorded on this, we would have maybe pick it from the bank. So I'll assume this is our capital, which is 20,000. Okay. So how do I go about that? That is, we have to enter journal. So if you come to company, you come to make general journal. Now you need to have these accounts, these petty cash. You need to have them on QuickBooks. You need to have created those accounts of QuickBooks. And then how do we confirm this? So let's enter the first transaction here. So we have to debit petty cash. So let me just look for cash. It will come as a bank. We don't have. So it means let's go and create a bank account, or we use undeposited fund. You can use bank account or undeposited fund, but I'm going to use bank account here. Undeposited fund usually come from the sales we made. So if you make sales, you receive you receive cash, then it goes to undeposited fund. But in this case, we are not getting this money from sales. Remember, I told you, is either you are getting it from sales or you are getting it outside from another, maybe from a bank, because we don't have any bank, we don't have any amount in the bank. So let's just go ahead and create. So I'll go to list, chart of account, then I'll right click here, then go to new, then I'll select bank, this bank. You can see here petty cash, so I can name that my impress floats. So I'll call it impressed. So on them, you can see petty cash here. Okay, so I can still call it petty cash. So bank, then petty cash. Impress, I think, just like a description. So now we are starting with 20,000. So I can insert an opening balance instead of even doing any transaction. I can start with opening balance. This is the best way to even go about it. So statement ending balance, which is 20,000. So I assume I'm receiving this 20,000 on what day? Remember, this is February 1st, so 2017. So I would want to pick February, January, ending of January. Then I'll put this as 17 because it's still in January. So you can just click on OK. So it will be an opening balance for 1st of February 2017 as of 31st. So I'll just go ahead and click more than 90 days. Just trying to inform me the transaction is more than 90 days, of course, 2017. So no, I don't want to do that. Okay. Now receive petty cash float from the main cashier. Bought postage stamp for office use. So we're going to go create postage stamp. There are two things involved here. Is that you are creating it as an inventory and you want to track, or you just want to create it as a non-inventory item. You don't want to track it, but you want to have them. Then the postage stamp, if you have it in quantity, in this case they just say bought postage stamps for office use. Then paid for carriage. Okay, let's just stop there first. Bought postage stamp for office use. So how do we go about recording this? Is that we take it as an expense and expense it, or we take it as a non-inventory, but it should not be a non-inventory. It should just be as an expense. So I'm going to look for postage here if we have. So let me just do postage, and if we don't have, we'll also learn how there's postage and delivery. You can see bought postage stamp for office use 450. Paid for carriage of palm kernel to the warehouse 575. So let me just assume we already have postage. Yes, anyone we don't have, we're going to create. So from there we'll learn how to create an account in QuickBooks. So let me just go with that. So I'll just, then how do we go about that? Remember, we are paying the worth of 450. So I'm just going to go to banking, and banking here. Then I'll just write check. So writing check in QuickBooks doesn't really mean like a bank check. Check. Writing check in QuickBooks means you are creating an expense. You are spending that money. So you can see the balance here is 20,000. Now I want to pay. Of course, they did not identify the name of the customer I'm buying, the vendor I'm buying from. So I wouldn't need any pay to the order of. Okay. Just want to try as much as possible to keep to the information that's available. So I just click on first of that. There is no invoice number, there is nothing, blah blah blah. Okay, so expense tab. So I can now go to, remember we have expense tab and item tab. So I'll go to expense tab, then click on postage. Okay, we have postage there. How much? We have I think it's 450 naira. Okay, so this I can just call it postage stamp for office use. So being postage stamp, if you want to include at least a narration, right, like a journal, being postage stamp for office use. Now I can use this method to enter my transaction or use journal. So let me use this method here. I will also show us how to make use of journal too. So this is writing check from this bank, and that is that. Now, of course, we are seeing petty cash as a bank. Bank is anything that you are spending from is bank in QuickBooks. So you can just use that. Now I can click on save. So I click on save, it will save. Telling us it's more than so number of days. You can see the balance now is reduced to 19,550. Of course, it will intrigue me to want to check the report, but I'll just check once. Then once I'm done, we'll now go and be checking them one after the other. So we'll go to company and financial, then we'll check profit and loss standard. You will see that we have expense. So now the date, I have to put all. Remember this month to date, so let me just put all so that you capture the transaction for postage and delivery. That settles that. Okay, now let's go to the next question. Paid for carriage of palm kernel to the warehouse. So this is like a carriage inward, right? So carriage inward. which is an expense. So another thing here, you can decide that you want to add it to the cost of the item itself, of course the palm kernel, but I don't think we purchase palm kernel here. So since we are not purchasing palm kernel, I'm not adding it to the cost of palm kernel, so I'm just using it as expense. We just paid for it, you understand? So because if you go to IS2 inventory, you add carriage inward, all those cost of bringing it to the place or whatever, to your warehouse or to your store, and you add it to part of the inventory. But here they not show us when the inventory was purchased, so they just told us that we did the carriage inward for 575. So it's okay for me to take it as an expense. So now it's an expense. So I said I'm going to show you the other way we can. So let me just click on my open windows to see the list of yes, let me go to make general journal, then close it back. Then here, this is another way you can do this transaction. You can debit the carriage inward. So do we have carriage inward? No, we don't have. Good. So how do we go about creating this? So you can create from here, or you go to chart of account. So I've already shown you how to create from chart of account. So let me create from here, because we created this petty cash from chart of account. So but I can also create from here. Let me create from here. So I'll now name it. You can see the same template. I'll name it expense. So I click on this expense. Then I'll also click OK. Then I'll now name it as carriage inward. Carriage inward. Okay. So I'll just go ahead, save and close. Now I have that there, so I'll just debit it by 575 naira. Then I write a memo, which is what we have been our journal, been payment for carriage, payment for carriage of palm kernel, okay. Kernel to the warehouse, okay. So I'll click this, then I'll select my petty cash, because the money is going out of my petty cash. So fine, it's okay. I can also record this transaction using this journal. So I just go ahead and save and close. Next, refresh report. Okay, let's just see the report is refreshing. Now we have carriage inward and postage. I don't have to go back end to start posting and looking for like Excel, except if you use formula in Excel. Of course, we are reading negative 1025 because we do not have any income so far. I'm recording based on this, and this inflow is an impress flow. There's no say that it came from sales, so I would not have record sales. I'm just saying that we have it as an opening balance and we're spending from it. Now the next paid 3 petty cash vouchers for staff on official travel to Port Harcourt, amounting to 90. So this is like a traveling expenses. So I can still say, let me use my journal, or use, remember they paid, so it's cash, it's not on credit, or use the general journal. So let me just go to banking and write check now. Then you see the balance so far. And one thing I forgot to do, the report, we did not check the date. The date is supposed to be this same 1st of February 2017. So let me just quickly go to my company of my general journal, then adjust the date. Okay, you can see the date is showing 10. Let me just go back. You go back through this arrow, then the date. So I'll select the date here, 2017. I'm using the dates that we have on our question. Then 31st, then 01. Now just see if that changes. So just the date change that will go. It not shows this 90 days. So now it's showing us the 90 days. Of course, I can remove these 90 days so that it doesn't keep showing us this 90 days. You can remove it from the settings. Now the 2nd of February 2017, paid cash. So I think I've already opened. So I go to my open window here. I want to see the hold on one sec. I want to see the right check. So let me go back to right check, and I can hide it. So I tried to divide the window for us to see the question and the software. Okay, so out. Thank you. Okay, so then second, so I'll select 2017. Then I'll go to second and second and 02. I hope this was what I entered. Begin to see that is different from what I entered on the general journal. Okay, just notwithstanding. So second, paid 3 petty cash vouchers for staff. So this is traveling. So let's check we have traveling. So we have travel expenses. Then I can now name it as being payment for travel expenses 2. Being payment for travel expenses. Let me see the content again. 3 petty cash vouchers for staff on official travel. Being payment for official travel expense. So official travel expense. Okay. Paid 3 petty cash. Paid 3 petty cash vouchers. So it's maybe it's for 3 staff. So being payment for official travel expenses for 3 staff. So if I want to add their name, I add their name. I'll copy this and also add it on this memo here and paste. Okay, so how much is it? 9090. Okay, so that's it. Was that 2nd of February 2017. So I'll just click save. Sorry, I have to go back again. Let me check the journal. Okay, let me check the journal. Open window. Okay, it's not open. Let me go to company again. Just want to be sure that I selected the right date. So first of I think the date is correct. Oh, it's wrong. 31st. You see, so it's supposed to be 1st of February. This is the right date. Yeah. Okay. Save and close again. The 90 days warning. Yeah. Go ahead. Now the next here, bought petty cash register on 4th of February. Bought petty cash register 12. So let's just do our transaction from here. So I think we've saved this already. So let's just go to new and okay, this is the balance. So this is on the 4th. So I just come here 4th. Then I go to, what did I call it again? Petty cash register. So I don't think we have cash register. Let me start for register. We don't have register, so I can just create new admin. So it's an expense. So continue. You can now name it petty cash register. Petty cash register. Then I click OK, save and close. Then how much? 12. Now I can now add my write-up again. Being the being word. Being payment. Being purchase of being purchase of payment petty cash register. Okay, so just copy this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, save. In fact, if I click on new, it will have to save before new one will come out. So it's okay. Now not just that, office stationery 3685. I'll go back again. Office supplies. Just call it office supply, or let's have the exact name or we edit this office supply. So let me go and show us how we can edit an account in chart of account. Okay, so how do you go there? We go to list. Okay, I think I already have it open. Let's check if it's open. Just go to chart of account. I have it here. So chart of account. Then I'll reset. Then office supplies. So I'll just right click here and edit the account. Then I'll now name it office. Instead of office supply, office stationery. Okay, office stationery, if I'm correct. So okay, let me just enlarge it and save. I think the save button, okay, IDs, okay, is showing here. And save and close. Okay, so we have now office stationery. So let me go back to my open windows and continue with my right check. So I'll hide it again, then is a voila, office stationery. Then how much is it? 36 office and 3685. So office stationery is office stationery. So if you want to add information, if you don't want to, but that's how you do those information adding and that. So still all this is on the 4th. Okay, so new. Once you click on new, it will save. So the next one, I hope I enter the correct amount. Let me go back again. Yeah, 3685. Okay, 3685. So balance now you can see 5,000. Now, and teacups for office use is an expense. I'm not tracking anything. So teacup, of course we wouldn't have teacup. So let me just do add new, and create teacup. So teacup. At least this way you know how to add expense teacups for office use. So how much? 750. So 750. What date? The same date. In fact, instead of doing this back and forth, you can actually come here, pick them and list them instead of going back and forth. You understand? So since they are on the same date, I'll just record the transaction on that same date, right? So let me just go for office electricity. So yes, electricity. I think utility will be there, but I'm not using utility. Let me just go to add new. So add new. So it's one date. So instead of going back and forth, just continue from there. So we'll call it office electricity. So office electricity. Okay. Then save and close. Do you have any other one in that same date? No. So the amount is 2250. Okay. So you can add their memo individually here. Okay. That is 4th of February. The next is 6th of February. So you can now do new, right? Don't worry, this one will disturb us for a while before we finish doing what we want to do. Okay, so we spend up to the extent where we only have 2,000. So on 6th, so let me select the date first before I forget. On 6th of February, we paid telephone bills of 1750 and carrier of 120. So you can just come here, telephone, I think I have telephone is 1750, then carrier, of course I have to create that one. So I add new. I think you're already familiar with this. Carrier. Okay, save and close. Then how much is it? 1750, 120. So the date is correct, and then we'll save. Then we'll go to new. The money is remaining 130. Of course, we are spending. We'll be spending. Okay, the next one is on what date? So the date is I just finished 6, right? So 7. I can just click down 7. So bought brooms for cleaners use in the office, 19 naira. Okay, so of course I want to call it broom. Let's call it broom. Or if you have how you categorize them, instead of calling all of them, so you can just call them office supplies, right? Office supplies. You can just call it office supplies instead of broom, calling them one after the other. So broom for 90. That is the only one on the 7th. The next one is on the 10th. So I go to new again. The balance is 40 naira. 7th, bought brooms for use in the office here. Then paid for the repair of office machines, 3750. I wonder where that money is coming out from. I wonder. where the money is coming out from, because we already have 40. But of course, QuickBooks will allow you to do your transaction. So what are we going to repair of office machine? So repair, yes, you can now call it repair of office machine, so they know what exactly the repair was made for, right? Control C, Control V. How much? 3,750. So of course they should have money somewhere before they can spend this money. So the next one is 11. So new, negative. Start reading negative. The next one is both postage stamps 600. So we have 3 transactions on this day, which is, oh my god, the date 7/10. Okay, this is 10. Okay, yeah, save changes. Yeah, 90 days. Okay, so now 11. So on 11 we have 3 transactions, both postage. So let me check postage. If I have postage, yeah, postage, and I can change it to just postage stamp, so that we have what we are, instead of having it as postage delivery. So let me just go and change the name. So let's also see again how we can change the name. So go to chart of account, go to postage, then edit the account, right click and edit, then call it postage stamps. Okay, so maybe I'm trying to be fast because the time should not be. Okay, now let's go back to right check. So we have postage stamp what 600. Then we have telephone expenses again 1 2. Then we have traveling again, how much? 300. Okay, then you can decide to just put them postage, telephone, and travel expenses. Okay, I love classification, so I don't keep on asking, hey, how far this money, what is it for? Of course there's evidence there. Yeah, no need of posting this other one. So 600, 1 2 and 300, 11 of February. Yes, altogether to 1 3 7 10 down. So let's do new now to 12. So don't forget, I'll just go straight to 12. Okay, so the next one is both duplicating paper for office use. So of course office supply, but for the sake of this I just want to show you how to go with that. So of course it's office supply. So depend on your own way that you analyze how detailed you want your information to come out, right? So don't penalize me for this, I understand. So you just want to get those things available. So I have it as duplicating paper. Okay, let's go ahead, save and close. Do we have other? I think we have other transaction. Let me just name this one 45. I wonder where they get the money from, so that they will spend everything. And she was instructed to make payments in respect of 3 ceiling fan bought. Oh my god, this is important. 3 ceiling fan. So do you want to call it, it's not inventory of course, and you want to track this, guys. So it's not inventory, is 3 ceiling fan. So you can decide to also call this expense. Okay, this is 12. Okay, I want to finish everything on 12. Now do you want to expense it? If you want to expense it, you just call it office expense or any other expense category you want to analyze it on. Then but ceiling fan is, I think, how much is it based on your materiality, based on how big your company is. So let's assume this is a fixed asset. Fine, let's do fixed asset. We've not done fixed asset today, right? So I'll save this, save, then I'll go to chart of accounts and create I'll go to chart of account and create, I don't have ceiling fan, so or can start to call them PPE. So let's check our PPE and see. Let's check our fixed assets and see what we have in fixed assets. We have two fixed assets, furniture and equipment. So do we call it furniture and equipment? Fine. If it's furniture and equipment, let's just go ahead and do our transaction. So how do we go with this one? Even from there also, but I'm tired of using check. Let's just go to company, make general journal, then use this one instead. Yeah, tired of using check, man. And quantity. So you can also, let me see. So we are buying ceiling fan. So furniture and fitting, furniture and equipment. So 45, no 96, sorry, 96. Oh, the date. Oh, it's 12 is correct. So 96. Purchase of 3 ceiling fan. Yeah. Okay. So from where? This petty cash you have so far. 6. Just click save and close. Yeah, no worry. Yeah, if it is fixed assets, we can also use this fixed asset, but there's a limitation here in this QuickBook I'm using, so I wouldn't want to go with that. And okay, so let's go like this. Report, we're done. So prepare the petty cash book of Royal Palms Limited on a weekly basis using the columns provided. Okay, so it's weekly, right? Okay, let's just go to reports. Report. Banking. Let's go to banking and use register. So okay, let me exit this place first. Let me go home. Yeah, here. I'll pick it now. So you can see everything that happened. So we are done with the question. I can just maximize. Okay, so look at everything that's happened to this guy. The 20,000 that came in, that's the opening balance. 450 went out, like that, up to when we have 40, and we see spending. This is the register. You can see everything is available here, showing a negative of 19,910. So even though we sold and we have the money in the bank, we'll still spend from the bank or from the purchase and the impress or the petty cash. It will still give us this negative as far as there is no income to set this off. So this is how you can use QuickBooks to at least enter transaction for your business and also generate a report. Oh, this is a register. Okay, let me just go to report. Let's see how the report will look like. Do we still have those guys here? Profit and loss. Yeah, I have profit and loss. So let me refresh. When I refresh, you can see everything. 30,310. These are expenses. Now, this figure is different from your petty cash register here. Here is 19,910. Remember, petty cash received 20,000 as an opening balance. I'll also go to balance sheet and see as an opening balance. So that is why if you do this out of this balance will definitely give you everything you have here in the profit and loss, 30,310. So now these 30,310 are expense. There's no income. So let's just go to balance sheet. At the beginning there's an income. This 20,000 came in as an income, right? You will see also the balance will be the same with what is in petty, but then this balance will differ by that. It will still be 19, so they will be the same, 19 here, 19 there. Okay, so let's go to balance sheet, compliant financial, and balance sheet. So this is balance sheet as of today. This is the petty cash, 19,000, furniture and fitting, 96 as a fixed asset, then opening balance of 20, 18, and at the end of the day there's 10,310. Oops, I don't want to. Yes, before we go, I want to show you another one called cash flow. You don't need to wahala yourself for cash flow, just have it here. So January through I'm using all all. I want to see everything. So you can see operating activities, investing activities, financing activities. These are one of the things that you can generate yourself. You don't need to even create them. You just do the transaction and everything will flow out. So you can see we created profit or loss, balance sheet, and cash flow. So the next, I'll also treat another question, but different from this platform, different from this petty cash. So see you in my next video.